The wildlife of Lebanon is the flora and fauna of Lebanon, a country at the eastern end of the Mediterranean Sea. The country has four main geographical areas: the coastal plain, Mount Lebanon, the Beqaa Valley and the Anti-Lebanon Mountains. The climate is Mediterranean, the coastal parts having hot humid summers and cool wet winters, and the elevated areas inland having colder winters with snow that lingers on into the summer. The country offers a variety of habitats for wildlife, including mountains, valleys, marshes, coastal plains, salt marshes and sea coasts. Geography. The coastal strip is relatively narrow and is a fertile area cropped intensively. Inland from this, the foothills of Mount Lebanon rise steeply. The mountain range runs parallel with the coast and is about 170 kilometers long and 56 kilometers wide at its broadest point, and over 3,000 meters at its highest point. This range is divided from the Anti-Lebanon Mountains by the Beqaa Valley, which is part of the Great Rift Valley system. Two rivers originate in this valley, which is about 16 kilometers wide. The Orontes River flows northwards into Syria, while the Litani River flows southwards and westwards before entering the Mediterranean Sea. This fertile area has vineyards and grows cereals, vegetables and fruit. To the east of the Beqaa Valley, the Anti-Lebanon Mountains are orientated in a southwest-northeast direction, and the crest of the range forms the border between Lebanon and Syria. The summits here are slightly lower than Mount Lebanon. The daily temperature variations are greater and the winters are colder. The Mediterranean coast extends for about 225 kilometers. The coastal plain covers about 16% of the land area of Lebanon but is inhabited by 3/4 of the population. The coast itself is mostly flat with sandy bays and salt marshes and a few rocky capes, but lack of urban planning means that much of the coastline has seen indiscriminate development, with deposit of materials for land reclamation and highway construction. Pollution also poses a problem for the coastal wildlife. Flora. The natural vegetation of Lebanon has been threatened by overexploitation and fragmentation as a result of urban expansion, overgrazing, tourism and the impact of warfare. The Cedar of Lebanon is the national symbol of the country, growing in the Lebanon mountain range. These trees have been heavily harvested over the years for the valuable timber, and few mature trees still remain. Nevertheless, Lebanon is more heavily wooded than most other countries in the region, and pine, oak, fir, beech, cypress and juniper are to be found in the mountain areas, although the Beqaa Valley has little tree cover. Where timber has been extracted and woodland destroyed, scrub has taken over. In the Lebanon mountain area, this is mostly Ceratonia, oak and pistacia, and in the Anti-Lebanon range the scrub is mostly pistacia and wild almond. Other native trees such as the Lebanese wild apple, Judas tree and Syrian maple are being grown experimentally as a conservation strategy to see if they are amenable to container production. The Al-Shov Cedar Nature Reserve was established in 1996 to preserve an old stand of cedar in central Lebanon. It covers 550 square kilometers, which is 5.3% of the country's total area, and includes 620 hectares of cedar forest which, with the exclusion of livestock, is successfully regenerating. There are 24 kinds of tree in the reserve and 436 species of plant, including about 48 which are endemic to Lebanon, Syria and Turkey. With the reduction in tree cover comes an increase in soil erosion, and the government has initiated a tree planting program to try to reduce environmental damage, and large numbers of trees, including cedars, oaks, maples and junipers, have have been planted. The Lebanon Reforestation Initiative is an international program set up by the United States Forest Service with funding provided by the United States Agency for International Development in 2014. Apart from trees, there are a large number of flowering plants, ferns and mosses in the country. Many of the plants bloom after the winter rains, and the annual plants germinate at this time, grow, flower and set seed while the soil is moist enough to support them. One plant endemic to the country is the endangered Lebanon Violet, found high up in rocky shrubland on the west side of Mount Lebanon. Fauna, the Middle East blind mole rat and Gunther's viola, found in cultivated fields and are regarded as pests. The rock hyrax is found in rocky habitats. Few large mammals are to be found in Lebanon because of hunting pressure, overgrazing by domestic livestock and the increasing amounts of intensively cultivated land. During the last few centuries, the brown bear, the Nubian ibex, the Mesopotamia fallow deer and the roe deer have become locally extinct in the country. The mountain gazelle may still exist in remote areas of the south, and there are protected areas where it could be reintroduced. In the Al-Shof Reserve there are wild boar, wildcats, striped hyenas, jackals, red foxes, porcupines and squirrels. No large ungulates are present in the reserve, and as a result there are few wolves. Also, in the Beqaa Valley, Lake Yamuna is home to the country's only endemic fish, Pseudophoxinus libani. About 31 species of reptiles and amphibians are found in this region, including tortoises, chameleons, and various snakes, lizards, frogs and toads. The Amik wetland is a biosphere reserve in the Beqaa Valley and is the largest wetland area in the country, covering an area of 250 hectares of marshes and lakes. It is an important site for migratory birds, and over 250 species of bird have been recorded there, including such rarities as the ferruginous duck, the great snipe, the lesser kestrel and the greater spotted eagle. In the nearby Shof Mountains, there are such species as the endemic Syrian seron, the horned owl, the chukar partridge and the long-legged buzzard. The Palm Islands Nature Reserve is a group of 3 small low, rocky islands located 5.5 kilometers offshore and the adjoining sea area. It has been designated an important bird area by BirdLife International as it is a stopping-off point for migratory water birds. Among the 156 species recorded here are the rough, grey heron, white wagtail and Udwin's gull. The beaches are used for breeding by the loggerhead and green sea turtle, and the endangered Mediterranean monk seal has been seen here.